Good evening. Welcome to Feel Good Talk Love 101. I'm your host, Charles Breaker, along with the host of Love 101, my man, Naeem Najib. I know we're on a little bit early, but sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. So again, that's my brother, Naeem Najib. LC Logan, she can't be here today because of the time. So we're just coming on early day, but thanks for coming on. And what's going on, Naeem? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can see you now. Yeah.
Okay, because it's not registering on my end, so I'm just seeing a
Oh,
frozen screen. But anyway, I'm good.
oh,
I'm ready to do this episode and have a conversation for anybody
oh,
that's available live right now.
no doubt, no doubt. So what I'm gonna do is go to commercial break, then we're gonna come right back and we're gonna get right into it. All right. And this is our
All
sponsor
right.
today, the A Game. Here we go. And wait, what happened? And that is the A Game, great for vitality, energy, strength, and libido. And if you want your free sample, give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A Game. All right, here he is, the invisible man, my man Naeem. What's going on, brother? Talk to us. What are we talking about today?
I'm well. How are you? Well, what we got to do. We got to start it off since I'm the love doctor,
Yes, sir.
meaning the love scientist. Let's scientifically break down what love is in under 3 minutes so that we can move on from there and it won't be confusion.
Cool.
Quick question. Am I coming in clear or choppy?
Nah, you sound great. You sound great.
All right, good. Just checking. All right. So we here at Love 101, it's called Feel Good Talk Love 101 because Charles has Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. I have Love 101 Media and Love 101. We talk about and give you tools for how to master love. So not just falling in love accidentally, but mastering the mindset of love, because love is a mindset and skill set that you can learn and master. That's what we say. Just like communication is a skill set, right? People say, it's funny that people talk about trust, love, communication, TLC, right? And they act like love and trust is something that's just vague and weird and something that everybody had to figure out for themselves. But communication is like, oh yeah, we can go to school for communication, we can get a degree in communication, but love is somehow separate, and love and trust is somehow separate and hard to grasp. And we're going to show you how to grasp it very easily, and we're not even going to use any graphics this time. So we're going to talk about the facts of love. That means the word FACTS. We're going to break it down. So starting with F for love, and love is a healthy relationship. So a loving relationship is a healthy relationship. In a healthy relationship, you have these 5 things. So F is for what, Charles? We're going to do this
Oh,
teamwork.
loving.
So
Okay, we're gonna do back. Okay, facts. I'm sorry, freedom. Freedom.
freedom. Yeah, facts.
Mhm.
And that's the facts. Freedom. Love is freedom. So when you're in a healthy relationship, you feel free. You know you are free, and whoever you're relating to receives and expresses freedom as well. So what's the A for?
Appreciation.
Appreciation. So we got freedom, appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
So saying I love you means I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Expressing love is expressing appreciation. Then you're going to bring it out of the clouds down to earth. Appreciation.
Right,
and then C
it's
is what?
communication.
Communication. I
Yes,
think
sir.
we all could agree on that one. Communication, clarity, right? For the C. And then the T, what do we got there?
Trust.
Trust. And again, like I was saying, love is trust. Love is communication. So they're not separate. It's not like, well, I trust you. I love you, but I don't trust you. Or
Right.
I communicate with you, but I don't love you. It's like, no, love is not some big, enormous thing that you can only fit one person into your life. I only have enough love for one or two special people, maybe my family, maybe some kids, but
Mm-hmm.
different people, like, no, I can't love anybody. I can't trust anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But you would say I could communicate with anyone, right? So again, it's just a different way of thinking about it. That love is infinite. You can't run out of it. So I can fit myself and anyone and everyone, actually, if I wanted, into love. Universal love is what we're talking about, not
Right,
special love. We're talking about one or two people, or
right, right,
and also, just to be clear, just because you express appreciation, because love is appreciation, to your friends in one way, you may express it to your students or your teachers or your colleagues in a different way. It doesn't mean that it's it's a different appreciation. So, for example, maybe for the person that delivers my Amazon packages, maybe I express appreciation by smiling or being friendly, greeting them, complimenting them. Maybe for my friends, I express appreciation by sending them a surprise package or something, right? But the place it came from is the same. Appreciation is the same. So we said freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, and finally S is what?
Sincerity.
Sincerity, right?
Right.
So saying what you mean, meaning what you say.
Mm-hmm.
That's very simple. And that's the facts of love.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not even going to get into the facts of fear this time. We're just going to keep it at love right now. And I wanted to talk about, and do we have any comments yet? Because I can't tell on my end.
No, we got people. No, we don't have any comments yet. Not just yet. Yeah, because they
Okay,
used to
well,
stand
just
us
let
on,
me know.
at 7 all the time. So again, they probably,
Right.
yeah, didn't expect us to
Yeah,
come on. Yeah.
we switching it
So
up
they
for
will be.
y'all.
They will be in a few minutes. Give them a little time. They'll be on in a second.
So let's start off the conversation now, the
Mm-hmm.
open conversation, the public conversation about privacy. I was thinking about this topic about privacy
Right.
in relationships. So, what does it mean? So, here are my questions. So, what does privacy mean to you in a relationship? In other words, what things are private, what things are not private, right? What things, for example, if you're just with your by yourself, that are private, and then you're in a certain kind of relationship with your friends, your family, your spouse, maybe your children. What kind of things are private in those relationships, and what kind of things stop being private, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then the idea of secrets. What is a secret? Is that different or the same as privacy? And is there something bad or wrong with keeping a secret?
Hmm.
That's a question that I'm putting out there. So we're talking about privacy and secrets. Again, I
Right.
wrote a whole book, a whole two books about communication.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I wrote a bunch of books about communication, but
Yeah.
a main book that's called uh, "Communication is Not a Game." So
Right.
that book has a whole section on secrets and privacy and all that stuff. I just wanted to know what y'all are thinking about that. So, for example, what private information, if you're in a relationship with someone, and just fill in the blank, y'all tell me what kind of relationship, what kind of information are you entitled to
Right.
when you're in a, let's say, this business relationship, this financial relationship, this um, boyfriend girlfriend relationship, this romantic relationship, this friendship? What kind of private information are you entitled to from the other person, or are they entitled to from you? So meaning, like, they can ask you about this and you'd have to tell them
Mm-hmm.
about it, because it could be anything. It could be like, okay, your password to something. It could be your location, where you're going, who you
Mm-hmm.
are with, what you're doing, what you're up to, whatever the case. Just
Right.
what is privacy, and what information are people entitled to,
We'll tell you what. We do have
and why?
comments now. If you want to, we can go right to those right quick. We
Let's
have
go to
four.
them, because yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
Sky
asking
Darling.
questions.
What's going on, Sky? She says, hello, my kings. What's going on, lady? Thanks for tuning in as always. We also have Lawanda Posey. She says, hello. What's going on, Lawanda? Thanks for tuning in.
Hello, Sky. Hello,
Sky
Lawanda.
Darling again says, please share this broadcast. And then Lawanda Posey says, nothing private but me using the but me using the bathroom. So Yeah,
All
that's
right,
definitely
Lawanda,
private, but
what kind of relationship are you talking about here?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, that's
So
what I wanted to know because I just left it kind of general and open to see what y'all would think. And are you talking about someone you may live with? You talking about romantic partner? You talking about kids?
right.
Like what? And
Yeah,
I
and that's
say
a great
this
question.
also. Yeah, go ahead, Charles,
Like that's
because
a great question
that.
too. Like when do a question be, like you said, privacy becomes a secret. You know what I mean? Like that's an awesome question because I never really thought of that. Like, okay, if you say this is private, I mean, is it a secret or is it just something that, how can you say, it's just something that we shouldn't discuss, but it could be a secret. I guess it could be, and it could possibly be a just privacy. I don't know. That's a great question. That's a great question. When does it become, that? When does it become private, and when does it become a secret? So
And that whole thing about like mind your business, like what is your business, what is not
right.
your business, like that's also what I'm talking about here. And
Mm,
also in terms of when people say, oh, can you keep a
yeah.
secret from me, right?
Mm,
What does that mean? And
right.
let's just talk about some general things that we keep private, like your debit card
Hmm.
number, right? Your social security number, your financial information. There's pretty much no argument that you keep these things. Like you
Right.
look behind you, you go to ATM, you cover your stuff, right?
Hmm.
That's pretty
Well,
standard,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's my question: if you have a PIN number to your debit card that's private, is it also a secret? See what I'm trying to
Right.
talk
No,
about
I mean,
here?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's yeah.
you see,
That's
because
a good question.
sometimes
Yeah.
we normally put this meaning on secrets as if it's a
Right.
bad thing,
Hmm.
meaning okay, because someone has a secret, does that mean that it's bad or harmful or shameful? A lot of time we use this word secret to talk
Hmm.
about something that's hidden, but that we're afraid of for whatever reason.
Hmm.
But something that's private is also something that's hidden, just like you
Right.
hide your PIN number.
Hmm.
And so, is it also a secret? Are
Right.
we using different words to talk about the same thing? And
Hmm.
I'm asking these questions to help us think. Remember, this is about critical thinking
I would think right.
because sometimes is it possible that we could feel entitled to information from people that is actually none of our business? Is
Hmm.
that possible? Is it possible that maybe we think someone is keeping a secret from us that is their own private information that has nothing to do with us, not our business whatsoever?
Right.
Like say somebody got a medical procedure or
Hmm.
some medical history or something that they don't want to share that also doesn't affect you. It's different if it directly affects you. I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna you give me a
Right.
key to your house, Charles, and I secretly get it copied and tagged with all the
Hmm.
and with all the address and give it out and just start sending it, just leaving it on the subway and leaving it places and giving it out to people, and I
Hmm.
just don't tell you about that affects you because now it's like a whole bunch of random people have your key to your house and your address. That
Hmm.
might have something to do with you if but maybe if you gave me uh the key to your house or your address, whatever, maybe that's something that you might want to keep private
Right.
or
Right. Right.
between us as well, right? It's something we could
Right.
share this information like, okay, this key is for you, it's not for anyone else. This
Hmm.
information is for you, it's not for anyone else, right? And
Hmm.
maybe we should be more clear when we're talking to people about things because a lot of times we have the tendency just as human beings to be nosy, number one, and also to be loose-lipped about stuff that's not our business to talk about. Like
Right.
someone's business, someone's medical procedure, their affair, their something that happened to them. Even if it was something they told you in confidence, like they had a trip and fall, like a slip, and they fell and hurt themselves, and then someone else comes up to them and say, oh, how's your hip? I heard you fell. And they're like, maybe I didn't want anybody to know about that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
who told, like I only told Naeem about that, so now you asking me about it. How many people know I fell? And you can fill in that slip and fall for anything that you share in confidence.
Right.
And how disturbing is it
Right. Hmm.
to be talking to someone and they bring up something that you told someone else in what you thought was in confidence,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's coming up like, yeah, Charles, dad, I know them hemorrhoids. How them hemorrhoids doing, man? I was
Yeah.
like, you know, or it's like I didn't, whatever the case may be that you told somebody, and they're just now it comes up somewhere else, and you're like, why do you even know that? Oh, because you trace back,
Right.
or I told this person,
Mm-hmm.
and again, then we have this thing called social media where if that's public information, I guess we can just say that that's just all fair game. Like it's public, so boom shakalaka. There you go. If you voluntarily put out that information for everyone to know in the world, then you shouldn't be surprised when someone says, "Oh yeah, you having an event? So y'all doing this show at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, or you switch the time to 5 o'clock on Tuesday." It's like, how do
Right.
you know? Because you posted it, you send it to you send it to everybody, right? And so yeah.
Right.
So anyway, any other comments so
Yeah, we
far?
got some comments right here. We got Sky Darling says a secret is information that should not be told.
Okay, thank
Yep,
you, Scott.
I can agree with that one. And she also, Lawanda Posey says, living with someone, everything need to be open. And far as kids, only things need to be private is the stress. I hear that, man, because it will
Mm,
stress you out. But again, it should be open. You're right. Everything should be open as far as as far as relationships, certain things anyway. Things that directly or indirectly affect you, I think. And then Lawanda also says, I know his PIN number, he knows mine. Whatever. I mean, that's
okay.
I guess you can, if y'all have that communication and y'all talked about what y'all wanted to do, or what as far as the PIN numbers, I mean, that's cool too. And
And again, back to Lawanda real quick. Again, I'm not gonna assume I know who he is or what your
right,
relationship is to him. If you care to share that information, you're free to or not. Because anything I would say about he is just an assumption. I don't know.
right.
And is it possible that the two of you have this information, but that's a secret or that's private information between the two of you? Can two people hold a secret, right? One person can have a secret, two people maybe, you got whole secret societies, right, and whatnot. um, but the question is, what's the relationship, and is it something that you're recommending, or are you saying that this is how you two relate? You have each other's pin number.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just wanted to say that. Can you go back one comment too?
Yeah, right here, living
There was
that
a
one there or the next
living
one.
with someone, everything needs to be open as far as kids. All right, so when you say everything needs to be open, is that everything? Everything? You know me. I'm gonna get technical. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, everything, every single thing, and
Right.
is there anything off limits? Like, is there any information when you're living with someone that about you that's for you and you only,
Hmm.
and it has no business, nothing to do with them? And my other question is, why? Does everything need to be open? In your words, Lawanda, why does everything need to be open, and what does that mean? Okay, we can continue.
Okay. And Sky also says, privacy to me is internal behavior that is accepted by the individual and who creates that space or condition. Guess he got some noise in the background.
Yeah, someone was trying to talk to me from behind, and
No
realized that I'm in the middle of a show. But yeah.
problem.
So, but you said privacy to me is internal behavior that is accepted by the individual who creates that space or condition. Internal behavior. What does internal mean, Sky? Internal thoughts. When you say behavior, internal, like in your own space and home, your own private space, uh, and creates that space or condition. Okay, just curious what internal behavior means.
Mhm.
Okay, we can continue.
Cool. That's it right there so far,
Say
man. Some
that.
interesting comments. Thanks. Keep them coming. We appreciate it.
Yes. Yeah, we thinking through things here, people. We got to think about these things and decide how we want to live our lives, because this is our lives, our decision, and you can't create your own your own rules for how you live your life. The question is, and your own boundaries in relationships. But the thing is, you can't get everybody to abide by them, right?
Right,
Just
right, right,
because
right.
it may be something you do for yourself doesn't mean it's what everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, hygiene and whatnot. Maybe it's your personal policy to take care of your hygiene every day. Maybe it's not for someone else. Maybe they skip some days, weeks, who knows, and they come around funky. Now, you can't force them unless they're your child or something to
Mm-hmm.
take care of that, but you can decide how you want to relate in terms of proximity and space, right? So
Right.
that's where the difference between boundaries and stuff are.
Mm-hmm.
And so, also, I invite everybody to check out the site,
I'll
healingtoxicrelationships.com.
get that up here for you, Naeem.
Every, yeah, everything you need to know about what I'm here to offer is there up
Mm-hmm.
on the site. So you will
Exactly.
see. You can,
Awesome course. Check it out. Nothing but rave reviews. So
yes.
keep it flowing. And again,
And
this is
also,
all G's work as well. So just had to throw that out there. But go ahead, bro.
yes, we're also looking for, I'm looking for people who want to teach it, meaning Healing Toxic Relationships 101 is a course, actually online virtual course, and
Mm-hmm.
in-person course, depending on the group that we get together. But it's an online course as well, 3-day
Mm-hmm.
course that people can take that by demand at this point
Mm-hmm.
because I'm looking for particularly teachers, people who want to teach it more than
Right.
I'm looking for students because the students will come, but you need people in place. Some people, not me, in place. Some people, some other people, not me, because
Right.
me, I have fatigue in teaching certain things over and over again. And
Right.
I'll admit that I don't want to do it, and I'm not going to do it if I don't want to. And I do want though to teach people how to teach it because if
Mm-hmm.
you can share it and you can convey it to others in your own way and your own flavor and style, then not everybody can receive from me. It's not. I'm not the only one qualified to give
Mm-hmm.
the truth and uh, relationships and the principles, but I'm making it available via Healing Toxic Relationships 101 for those who wanna
Hey,
share that.
so
So
so so how can they get in like if they did want to teach, how could they get in contact with you? Just go to the
go on the
website
site and go to
and
contact.
there
Yeah.
you all right, there you
It
go.
go that's I'm not listen, I'm not promoting myself. I'm just putting it
Right,
out
right.
there. Like if those who want to find me, they'll find me, right? When
Mm-hmm.
somebody got a problem with me, they can find me. So if you want to join with me on something,
Right,
then you
right.
can find me too. So I'm not
Mhm,
I'm not promoting, I'm not tagging nothing, nobody. I'm not putting it
mhm,
out there and writing in the sky. I'm patiently waiting for those who are sent. And we'll know each other when we see each other. So I'm not
mhm,
stressing at all. It's not even a big deal. It's okay if nobody teach it and I die today. It's fine because I got what I needed to get from it. I'm good. So
mhm,
it's
mhm.
available though. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So hey, where can they find your books at too, Naeem? Let them know about that as well.
This
No,
is
he's talking.
I want to say hello to Clarence. It's his
What's up,
birthday
Clan? What's
today.
up, brother? What's going on?
Hey everybody, how
Oh,
you
you
doing?
can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Okay, cool.
Going on,
Oh,
how
yeah, good to see y'all, man. I'm good, man. Just sweaty. I've been moving all day, so it's all good.
Hey
yeah.
man,
God bless
awesome,
you.
awesome, awesome.
All right.
Same
Yes
to you, brother.
indeed.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Hmm Good brother
Yeah.
right there. Good brother. I
So
meant to ask him what he had to eat
yes
today. You
indeed. Yeah, what you had to eat, Clarence? Never mind, you didn't have nothing to eat.
That's funny.
What?
Yeah, I like to
Oh
give
no,
a
I'll
yeah.
talk to you about it later. Yeah. Okay. No, go ahead,
Yeah,
Sean.
like give a shout out to Angie Young. She joined us. Breon Nichols, Maxwell Skinner, my man Wayne Ledoux. Who else? Carmen Scott. She's watching. Thanks for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. But again, now what is that question that you wanted everyone to hear again? Like throw that back out there again. So then, wait a minute, we got one right here. Hold on, we got another comment. This is great. Here we go. This is coming from Lawanda again. She says,
Okay.
we are engaged and we talk about what kind of relationship we want. We realize being honest about finances and playing everything together step by step give us less stress instead of guessing who's going to do what. Got to have trust to plan our future. That's awesome.
Mm,
And honestly, that's great, y'all. You know, you're sitting there, you're planning it out, you're having communication. That's the big thing, having communication and being truthful with each other, you know, and having it all planned out before you get started. So that way there's no, there's no, I guess, expectations or, well, I thought, or you thought, whatever. Everything's out on the table already and is already planned out. So that's awesome. And I wish everyone would take that in heed as well and plan it out, because this is your future with this person. So y'all should both be on the same page. You shouldn't be one person on page 20 and then you're on page 35. You know what I mean? Y'all should both be on the same page when need be. So again, that's great. So shout out to y'all for that. What do you think,
and
man?
I wanted to say that congratulations, Lawanda, on the engagement and also on your communication with each other. And a really good book you should check out is Happily Ever After: A Guide for Healthy Marriage, which is by myself,
Mhm.
and it's available on Amazon. If you want a free PDF of it, just email me. Go to Healing Talks and Relationships and reach out, and I'll send you a copy of that. Y'all can you can print it out. You can look at it on your phone, your
Mhm.
computer. But it's just a guidebook of questions to really stay on the same page, and it goes through about 19 different topics, everything from beliefs, values, finances, the wedding,
Mhm.
right? The health, history, criminal history, sexual, like everything. Like there's going to be a whole lot of uncomfortable stuff to talk about, deal
Mhm.
breakers and all that. But it can save you a lot of time to know
Mhm.
where someone's head is and to know what your deal breakers are. Sometimes people don't know it until it's I won't say too late, but until they're confronted with it and stuff. It could be
Mhm.
something as simple as bullying in school, and one parent is like, yeah, you better. They pushed you. You gotta go punch them in their face. Here's some here's some knuckles, some brass knuckles. You can take, sneak it in there and punch them in their
Right.
face. After school, the other parents like, just apologize. We should talk it out. Like
Mhm.
that might be a deal breaker. Who knows? We had plan to have children. Like you should, So in the book, there's scenarios like that. So what do questions that could be uncomfortable, like
Mhm.
what if the man wants a pregnancy, not a paternity test and whatnot, which is not something uncommon, regardless of for people to think about, right?
Right.
And so, what if would that be a deal breaker just for him to bring it up? Like, can we get a paternity test? So thinking about these things, just before it might actually happen
Mhm.
can be helpful because you can talk about it when it's very low stakes or no stakes, when it's just theoretical, hypothetically. If we did have a child and they were getting bullied or they became a bully, like how would you want to handle it? Like
Right.
instead of it like you getting called by the principal and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
a lot of things are covered. Of course, not everything, every aspect of the human and marriage experience or companionship experience, but a lot of things that could open your minds to being on the same page, as Charles said, about many different areas
Mhm.
and topics in life. So, yeah.
Yeah. And she also says, okay, thank you, and will do. So definitely. And
Yeah.
definitely hit us back next time and let us know exactly, how that worked out for you too. Because we love to hear, how that book worked out and how you guys went through everything and like some of the difficult stages. If you can share some of that stuff, if you would like to, that'd be awesome so that we can get some feedback from you. And
Yes.
Little J Choice says a great show and real talk conversation. What's up, Jamila? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in.
And I want to reiterate that book about healthy marriage is not just for married people, just for engaged people. It's for any two people who are really talking about joining as partners in life. You don't have to be under the umbrella of marriage or engagement, but just it's a book to get to know somebody really well, especially
Hmm.
someone you're choosing to join your life with.
Hmm.
And I want to say that it's not an advice book. It doesn't say, well, you should have kids, should not have kids, should whatever. It's saying if you have kids, what is like? How many kids would you like? How many do you want kids? Like it's questions for you
Hmm.
to ask each other, to have conversations that, again, before these things come up, because life will throw you some stuff
Hmm.
that you may not necessarily expect to be ready for. You'll never be ready for everything, but you can at least be in the practice of communicating and having conversations that aren't necessarily always comfortable because maybe your ego or your past or your beliefs or your religion or your just some things come up you didn't know about the person or whatnot, and now it's like, okay, is this a deal breaker for me? Like, is
Hmm.
this like, okay, let's just call it off right now. I didn't know you didn't want me to take the A game. Like, that A game, that's a deal breaker. I gotta take the A game. That's what it's for interview strength and vitality. What you talking about, right? So it's like, no, don't take the A game. It's like, no, Charles, that's my man. I got his support. So, oh, you can take half of an A game. Like, I don't know. That's only half the game. You can't stop at halftime. Got to go the whole whole game. So again, whatever your thing is, talk about it.
Hmm.
And that's what that book is about. And thank you for your comment, Jamila, as
Yeah, I
well.
think that's very important, man, as far as, that communication piece. Like, I think we lack it in all types of relationships, man, not just, romantic, but just in, just relationships in general, and I think once you
Hmm.
get that down pat, I think a lot of these problems that we have, we can solve, you know what I mean? And it might not be that deep, it might just be something as easy as just, saying either my bad or whatever, and then it ends up blowing up to a point where now you're not speaking, they're not speaking, and it's crazy. So again, that communication piece is definitely real, man. Definitely needed. And we got Jamila.
Yes.
She's on here. She's laughing. She says, "A game, laugh out loud."
Hmm.
That's cool.
Hmm.
She also says we need great communication. That's true. Great communication is definitely key. So I think with communication, it could, like I said earlier, it could solve a lot of different problems that we do have. So again.
Yes.
Mhm. And I want to get back on the trust piece too, because I said this before as far as trust is concerned. We trust, and I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. We trust people more than what we think. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you figure, you go to the restaurant, you eat, you trust that they're gonna make your food right. You catch a plane, you think, you trust that the pilot's gonna land this plane safely and get you there. You don't even know this person. So a lot of time we trust things or trust the process or trust people in general and don't really realize it. So we do a lot more trusting than what we think, so just think about that.
Hmm.
That's something just to think about.
Yeah, it is. And we make it all difficult
Hmm.
in our own mind's eye, our own relationships with people in our circle. Like, I don't know if I can. You asking somebody on a road trip 20 times, you know where you're going, you know where you're going, you know where you're going. But you don't
Hmm.
ask the pilot or the Greyhound driver or any, you don't ask them one time. "Yeah,
Right.
excuse me, can I talk to the pilot? Do you know where you're going? Do you know how?
Yeah, you're right. You're
Do
right.
you know the way to San Jose? Like,
I
'cause I've
always
been
thought it
away
was
so
amazing how
long.
they can, I guess all
What?
that computer and technology inside the plane helps them get there, because I was amazed at how they could just fly in the sky and not see nothing. You know what I mean? But again, that
Oh yeah.
technology in front of them is just amazing too. So again,
Oh
I would
yeah.
love to learn
The
how to fly a plane. That'd be awesome.
autopilot has been carrying planes to and from for decades now. Y'all be surprised
Yeah,
that
yeah,
pilots are literally there to take off, land, and
that's it.
observe
Yep,
the
that's true.
plane. Like after
Yep,
after the wheels are up, the the computer is piloting the plane, and
yep.
after the wheels are so when it's taxiing, taking off, and landing, that's when the pilots are doing something.
Mhm.
Otherwise, they in there like checking their Instagram, they doing different
Yeah,
things.
yeah, that's
But
true. Yeah.
but another thing about communication and AI, um, let's be careful also when we talk about communication that we don't. You said we trust people more than we know, Charles. I would say that we trust or rely on technology more than we give ourselves
Oh
credit
yeah.
for. More than, for
Yep.
example, I'm sure this is not only me, that some people, not just me, have had the experience of sending a text message out and you have it on your feed that you sent to the person and you talk to them and they're like, oh, I never received that. And they literally, like, if they show you, like, they've never received that message on their thing from you, even though you sent it, and even though it
Mhm.
may have said that it sent or whatever, or
Right.
vice versa. And people are talking to you like, but why didn't you respond back to me? I sent you the
Right.
message, like, I never got it. And it's funny when people talk to me and they say, yeah, I texted you about that the other day. I was like, oh, I never received it. I never received that text from you. Oh, but I texted you though. I texted it. And yeah, I'm like, and it's like they keep saying it as if because they texted, that automatically means that I had to receive it. Where there's
Mm-hmm.
no, the technology is not 100%, y'all. There's
Mm-hmm.
not a cause and effect relationship between you send the text, someone receives it. This is
Right.
pretty much as much by chance as anything else, because the policy is, if it's not 100% reliable, it's 0% reliable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. If it failed even once, how can you trust it to work all the time? All you have to
Mm-hmm.
have is one example of the call not going through, the phone you
Right.
call it doesn't ring, or you send the message it didn't get through, and you show them and they show you, like, look at our phones. I sent you the message today, and there's nothing in your phone from me today, but it says that it's sent. That should be enough evidence right there that this
Right. Right.
technology cannot be relied on in every situation with every person every time. And at best, it's a good way to check in with each other, but not to base our relationships and our
Right.
trust on with each other, right?
I mean, just think
It ain't,
about it.
yeah.
We don't even know people's numbers anymore. Let's be honest. Like when I
How
was
about
coming
that? You
up,
don't
I used to know like numbers. I used to know numbers like by heart. Now I can't. I know certain numbers because I had them since childhood, or I knew for a long time. But I could not set go in like per bit. I say if you told me now, if you said Chuck, what's my phone number? I would say I don't know. I have to look it up. You know what I mean? So
even.
yeah, you're right. We do trust our technology. That is going to be there forever. You know what I mean? So I mean, of course, that's why you got Google now, so you can back all that up. But again, yeah, you hit it right on the nose, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
So
It's different. It's like we are becoming partially cyborg because we have surrendered part of our brains to
right.
the AI to figure out for us. Like if I
Hmm.
start talking, spelling in a word in YouTube, I spell in field and I spell in good, then it's gonna automatically say talk, mind, body, soul,
Right.
and business. Like, yeah, that one. Or it'll give me some other ones. Love, feel good talk, love 101, feel good talk, Cassandra's
Hmm.
corner or whatever, right? And it's like,
Hmm.
oh, that one. Instead of writing the whole thing in, and we've
Right.
gotten used to it, and so it makes us a little more lazy. So when someone
Yeah.
asks
Yeah.
you to uh, to write something out by hand, right? To write something in a book or whatnot. We don't know how to spell anymore. I never knew how to spell, so I don't take it personally myself. But we don't know how to spell. We don't want to write stuff down. All that. I remember somebody. I understand abbreviating stuff in a text message, but I remember I was with some people, and this one person, somebody made a joke, maybe it was me, and this person said, "Lol, lol." I said, "I know you didn't just say lol. Did you really just say out loud, lol?" I had to take a. I'm like, did you just say lol? Did you say what I thought you said? How you abbreviate laughter? Hold on, I gotta
Yeah.
step away.
Oh, that is so funny, man. Oh, but again,
Okay, I'm back. I'm
hey,
back.
we
I just had to step away. I
we
was
got some
just too
comments,
much.
man. Let's jump to those real quick. Let's see. Okay, here
And
we
while
go.
you're doing that, I'll share my view with everybody so y'all can see.
Okay, it's beautiful, brother. Beautiful view. Wow, I like that. Wow. All right. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany Neal says, when you call, they don't answer. Hmm. We already talked about that one. As far as they got the freedom not to answer or not to call, whatever. They don't have the freedom to pick up or don't answer the phone. So again, when we're talking love, now I ain't break
I
it
also
down
want
to it.
to
No, you can
want
break
to
it down.
add this. Can you hear me?
I'll hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think the reception was a little crazy out there, but um, if you have conditions on your relationship, on your connection with people, make it clear. Like if
Right.
there's no conditions on love, meaning there's no conditions on freedom, appreciation,
Right.
communication, trust, sincerity. That's just what it is. It's just free and it's equal for everyone. But let's be real though. There are conditions on marriages. There are conditions on roommate agreements, there are conditions on employment agreements, different type of relationships. There are conditions to your employment, right? Like you got to actually do the work, right? To
Mhm.
get paid and to stay there. There's conditions on keeping this living space, right? And being a roommate or being in the, like you got to keep the space in order. You got to pay your
Right.
rent, etc., your mortgage. There are conditions in your marriage. Like, okay, if we're in a monogamous marriage, then we're sexually exclusive, what have you. Or if our finances, okay, we're agreeing to go 50-50 on the tuition or whatever the case. If y'all have these conditions, make it clear. Don't make it private. Like, oh yeah, I know when we get in this marriage, then she gonna do all the cooking and I'm just gonna, do all the eating, and that's what's
Mhm.
gonna, or whatever the thing you may have in your mind is. Talk
Right.
about it, right?
Mhm.
Because that is just gonna make things more clear.
Right. Right.
And it is we do have conditions, right?
Mhm.
So I'm sure there's people who you have had friendships with who you are no longer friends with because they have violated something, right? Maybe they violated your privacy, right? Or your space, or they stole something from you and you're like, oh, I can't deal with this person anymore. They just always bringing me drama, or they only
Mhm.
hitting me up when they need something or
Right.
whatever. They
Right.
just a drag. They just negative energy. And
Mhm.
you didn't realize before that constant negative energy, that's a condition. Like I don't want to be your friend if it's always going to be constant negative energy, constantly
Right.
sapping
Right.
my life force from me every time we talk. You
Mhm.
can make that be known. And even if
Mhm.
it's something like, so Tiffany said, when you call they don't answer. If a condition is, look, when I call, I want you to answer or to at least call me back within 12, 24 hours, whatever your condition is. I'm just making this up on the spot.
Yeah.
Or else I don't want to be in this relationship. Can y'all hear me? Did we just
Yep.
get
I hear.
disconnected, or
Yeah.
am I
You good?
good?
You just froze. Your picture froze, but I can still hear you. There you go.
Okay, let me move it back a little bit. Okay, is that better?
Yeah. You good? You were good at the other spot. You were
Okay,
good.
okay. All right, then I'll move back. It's more now I'm comfortable. Never mind, I'm here now. So,
Cool.
uh, if your condition is, let's if you don't call me back within 12 to 24 hours, I'm going to cancel this arrangement. I don't want to be your friend, your lover, your
Right. Right.
fiance, whatever it may be. Then say that, right? Don't just have an attitude with somebody when they call you 2 days later, like, why you didn't call me back? Well,
Mhm.
you should have let them know that I my my courtesy and my uh, being available to you
Mhm.
is conditional upon you getting back to me within a certain amount of time.
Mm.
We don't like to say that, but that's how we act, though. We act like that.
Right.
We don't
Right.
say it directly, but you could say, like, look, if I don't hear from you in 72 hours, I'm going to assume you ghosted me or you don't care about me or you left me or whatever. And if that's how you feel, or that's how you're going to respond, right? Even if that's not how
Mhm.
you want to feel, but that's how you're going to feel if you don't hear
Right.
from them in 72 hours, you can let them know, I know you're busy, and if I don't hear from you in a few days, I start to feel like maybe you don't care about me. And if you want to be even more sane with it, you can say, I know that's just me, that has nothing to do with you.
Mhm.
And I take responsibility for that, and I'm going to do my best to remind myself that you do care about me, you do love me, and that
Mhm.
we both have our own lives. And if you just want to, again, if that is an actual condition for you, you could say, and on top of all that, if you don't call me within a few days, within 72 hours, then I I think it's best that we not together, because I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't call me every few days, or at least get back to me within a few days. Now,
Right.
without judgment on that, if that's how you feel and that's how you're going to respond, then it's more clear, it's better communication if you let your conditions be known. Because the idea that there are no conditions on relating to people is foolishness. There's no
Right.
conditions on love. There are conditions on relating. All
Mhm.
right. If
Okay.
if me and Charles just started going off being disrespectful and antagonistic and accusing and ridiculing everybody's comments, all of a sudden we might lose some listeners and some participation, because there's a condition on your listening to us that we
Right.
are offering you some kind of value, perhaps, right? It might be that might be your condition that, oh, I'm learning something, oh, I'm enjoying the conversation. But I mean, these guys are just being ridiculous and disrespectful and just making a mockery of the audience. I don't want to participate in something like that. That means that's your condition for listening to the show. And we have to be honest about that. We do have conditions for relating, although there are no conditions on loving. Okay, because you can love everyone equally without relating to them directly. Do you understand what I mean? Because love is a mindset first before it becomes action. All
We
right.
do got like you said, we get to all the comments, so we're gonna go through all the comments today. We got Jamila J. Choice said hi, Miss Tiff, and we got everyone speaking to each other. So I'm gonna go to each and every one of them. Here we go. Izzy says, hey. Tiffany says, hey, Jamila J. Choice. And Izzy says, where you at? She got those acronyms, WYA. I guess it means where you at. So
that's what I'm gonna say to you next time we pick up. I'm like, Charles, WYA? Question mark.
And
how do you say
Jamila,
that? Weah?
Yeah, Weah. There you go. Jamila J. Choice says, what is the difference between a condition and boundaries? Great question.
That's a good question, Jamila. A condition is a deal breaker. And they are very similar because now that I think about it, they might even be the same thing. Because if my condition on you coming in the house, or in my house, is to remove your shoes, and my boundary for you coming in the house is to remove your shoes, and it's the same thing, right? Like you can't come in my house without removing your shoes. That's the condition on coming in my house. My boundary for people coming in my house is remove your shoes. That's my boundary for people coming in my house, right? So it's pretty much the same thing, and so that's a good connection, a good question. Thank you, Jamila.
Awesome.
Anybody else have any comments on that as well? Open to more feedback.
No, not with the boundary, but we do have Fatima. Well, what's going on, Fatima? She says, hello, y'all. I'm working, but I see you. Yep. And we were going to get into the date, the dating, but we don't, I guess she's not here to actually talk on
Yeah,
that
it's
one. So,
better when she comes up and talks about it, give us an update about what's going on.
She's going to keep us up to date. And Jamila J. Choice says, thank you. So, again, thanks for tuning in, y'all. We definitely appreciate it. And hold on, we got William Dix. What's up, baby? He says, in the house. Yes, sir.
All right, Will.
Appreciate you, baby. So we got a lot of the family is in the building today. So we definitely appreciate that. And
so
don't forget talkrelationships.com, please.
Yes. Easiest site in the world to remember. So we got 3 words. We got conditions, we got boundaries, and we also got deal breakers. Like pick either one. It's they all the same, but it's we use it in different contexts, but they're all the same. Conditions on things, a boundary that you set, and your deal breaker. Like this is not going to work if you cross this line. Like that's deal breaker right there. So it's good to look at it and just make it simple. There's not anything complicated about it. All healthy relationships have boundaries. All healthy people have personal standards. Now that's the difference. Standards are for yourself personally. Like your hygiene standard is your own hygiene standard. You can wash 3 times a day, 1 time a day, once every 3 days, whatever your standard is. That's for you, your own self-love and care. But you can't project that onto someone else. And judge them for their standards or lack thereof, because but again, if their muskiness or their presence or their their lack of taking care of themselves is affecting you and crossing one of your boundaries, like for example, they don't want to feed themselves, but they always looking to you to feed them. Maybe one of your boundaries is like, I don't have to feed another grown person when I don't want to. Like just because you always come to my house hungry don't mean I always have to feed you. Just because I always pick up the bill at the restaurant don't mean I always have to pick up your part of the bill as well. It could be your boundary as well. Maybe your standard is like I'll always make sure I have enough to pay for myself when I go out to eat. And whatnot, but it doesn't mean that you have to pay for somebody else.
We got a couple more comments out there for us too, Naeem. We got Dreddy Gal. She says, "Thanks as always, Doctor Feelgood, and love Doctor and everyone. Would you suggest folks in relationships communicate about the purpose of their relationship as you talk about it in LIN?
Love
What
is
is that?
not a game.
Okay, okay. Here we go with another acronym.
It's
Cool.
Linag, Charles, Linag.
And conditions on their relating. I said, interested in thoughts about that. Appreciate you all. You can read that again since I messed it up with the
All right.
acronym.
The question was, would you suggest folks
Right.
in relationships communicate about their purpose of their relationship as you talk about? And yes, in addition to those conditions would be the purpose. And all the conditions and boundaries you set up support the purpose, right? So if your purpose is loving communication, one of your conditions or boundaries, like no arguing, we're not going to do that. Like if there's an argument, just got to stop, just not going to
Right.
participate. That's a deal breaker. That's not part of our purpose. It's not part of our loving relationship. So yeah, I suggest that they do both. They set a purpose and also set boundaries and or conditions and that support that purpose, right? It can't just be arbitrary. It's like, okay, this our purpose is to support each other in whatever way we are willing to. So maybe a boundary or a condition is also, if you're not willing to, like if I want to talk about something, you don't want to listen right now, but you're just like, oh, then like just tell the truth. Like you don't want to listen. I don't want to hold space. I don't want to do this right now. So
Right.
that would be one of those conditions. Like it's okay either way, because love would never make something a requirement or a force to do. Like it's something that you have. It's a job now. It's a obligation now, because we said we were going to support each other. Oh, I want to talk. I want to vent about something. So you got to listen. Oh, maybe I just don't want to listen tonight. Maybe that's it. Could just be I just don't want to, and that's it. It doesn't have to be any deeper than that.
Okay. And we got one more comment there. Will says, I always thought boundaries and conditions were totally different.
Then talk more about that. If you have more to contribute to it, Will, like what did you think boundaries were? What did you think conditions were? And yeah, so we're just we're just talking. All right, so Dreddy Gal says, I really love the idea of communicating in a personal way about the conditions of relating. If folks are willing, much clarity would be experienced in that. I agree. If people are willing to talk about our conditions, again, you could. I've thrown out 3 words. Will is the only one that said so far that he thought boundaries and conditions were totally different, and we are still talking about it. Maybe to you they are, and tell us more about that. In the moment, as I'm teasing out the idea, I'm looking at them as exactly the same thing, just different words to talk about the same thing. And sometimes we might relate to it different contextually, like say, oh, well, my deal breaker is, that means if you do this, we're gonna break up. Like that's a deal breaker. I'm walking away from this whole thing. Whereas a boundary is like, oh, you crossed my boundary. Okay, let me just check you real quick and communicate. All right, this is my boundary. Please take your shoes off when you come in the house. I'm not gonna divorce you over like having your shoes on. All right, you know what I mean? So but yeah, the conditions of relating are very important, because a big mistake people use to hurt themselves with the idea of love, the false idea of love rather, is that unconditional love means unconditional acceptance and tolerance of any type of behavior. And that's poisonous and dangerous. So I love them. I'm ride or die. I'm here for whatever. That's dangerous, okay? Because you can end up very dead and being there for whatever. Like you say ride or die like it's cute, but it's
Yeah, it's
Like you could end up dead though. And again, if that's your like, okay, you like a soldier of fortune, like yeah, no, like I'm willing to die. Like if it's required, my death is required, then here it is. Like I'm gonna give it to you, and there's no problem. But most people, I don't think will agree that between a healthy relationship and living life to the fullest and just dying over something arbitrary that you're gonna pick the latter. So uh, be careful what you talking about and how deep your willingness goes when you
right.
don't recognize maybe you're in a toxic situation where someone's demanding, oh, loyalty means that you gotta show me your phone and delete everybody out of there that I don't want in there. You gotta tell me everywhere you're going, and if you really about it, if you really loyal to me, you're gonna do this. You're gonna let me access every aspect of your life. You're gonna show me all your text messages. You're gonna let me see all your financial history, all your travel. You gotta show it to me for approval. All of this kind of thing. Yeah, that's dangerous, y'all. I'm just saying that is dangerous. So
Yeah, yeah.
you, I had an idea for a book title today, and it's called "No One Owns You." And even if you
Mm,
agree to everything that I said, yeah, you can look at my phone, do it. If you do it out of freedom and like, yeah, I'm allowing you to see where I'm going, to see my money. I'm allowing you to look at my phone. I'm allowing you to track my location. I'm allowing you to ask me questions. I'm allowing you to point out people in my life that you don't want me to talk to, and I'm gonna choose not to talk to them. I'm deciding that because I'm deciding that. You're not deciding that for me. You said,
mhm.
"Oh, I want you to stop following this person on social media." And I said, "All right, I heard what you said, and because I choose to, I'm going to stop following them."
Mhm.
You're still the one making the decision. Nobody owns you. Where
Right,
you
right, right.
going? You going out? Don't go out. You can't go out tonight. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm not going to go out tonight because I decided I'm not going to go out tonight. Not because you said
Mm,
so. I just
mhm.
decided you said it, and I thought about it and I made a decision. But if I change my mind, I'm still gonna go out. Right? That
Mm,
that's the thing. The thing that, oh, they control me. I can't do anything when they always, no, this is simply not true.
right,
Even when
right.
people think they're, again, unless somebody's physically like got you chained somewhere or got a gun to your head or something, that's different. But I'm talking about free people who are able to move around freely and make their own decisions. Then
Hmm.
it's no one owns you, and no one owes you any explanation, anything, and uh, no one can stop you from being free, even with
Right.
all that madness that I just talked about.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
no one owns you.
Good stuff, brother. And Fatima West says, person standards, deal breakers, expectations and boundaries, etc. I like to get to that right off the bat. I may scare people because of that. Hmm. She said I mean personal standards. Okay. She said something personal, but we'll get back
Right?
to that.
Yeah, it's something that can give a lot of clarity, save you a lot of time. You find
Mhm.
out. Just it could be something like, okay, I want someone that's in this income bracket, and I like
Right,
everything else about you, and you're not in this income bracket, and that's a deal breaker. Then don't waste each other's time.
right,
All
right.
right. I'm not here to judge anyone's conditions or deal breakers. I'm here to encourage you to have the conversations with yourself. Like, what is my deal breaker? Like, do I want someone in a certain age range to be with in this relationship, and you're not in that range? Then
Mm,
make the decision. Stop playing
mhm.
games,
Right,
right?
right.
Because you're innocent. You get to decide how you want to live your life. You're just cheating yourself out of what you want, the experience you want, and of exploring life to the fullest. When you think you owe somebody, it's like, well, we've been together for so many years, and I know it's not working out, and it's said to death do we part, and I really want a divorce, but I'm not going to do it because we
Mm,
said we would stick together 25 years ago, but for the last 5 years it hasn't been working out, and nothing's been working. But I guess I'll just stick around for the next 25 years. No, if you don't want to stick around, then don't stick around.
mm,
All
mm,
right. And I know
mhm.
that's way easier said than done for
Yeah,
human
it is,
beings,
mhm.
but you are not actually loving that person by giving them the version of you that is resentful, that is upset, that has grievances, and that is really sacrificing their happiness just to be a part of this charade. You're not really loving them. You're holding yourself and them back. You're attacking, you're lying to each other, and you're not respecting them or yourself at that point. So
Hmm.
just to
That's
say.
right. That's true. And Will says, too much to type. I'm still handicapped. Arm is killing me. Yeah, he had operation. So yeah, get better, Will, soon. And
You
hey,
got the
talk
oh,
to
we
you.
sharing his personal information. You got the RoboCop arm, Will. You got
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, he's all jacked up right
yes,
now. But again, yeah, we got you though, brother. Don't worry.
yeah,
And
Will. Feel better.
yes, sir. Tiffany Neal says, I'm just coming on and not sure if you touched on this, but you have sat down to the table and talked about conditions and boundaries, but it's only one-sided. He doesn't want to adhere to the conditions, but he wants you to adhere to the conditions and boundaries. Okay, let's put
So
that. I
so
guess he
if you're saying that this person, just using the example, he wants you, I guess you could be anyone, to adhere to his conditions and boundaries, but doesn't want to adhere to yours. And let me remind people that no one has to adhere to your conditions and boundaries, and you don't have to adhere to theirs, right?
right.
And if it is one sided in that way, and they constantly violate your conditions, boundaries, and you either don't enforce them or they don't respect your enforcement, then if you have personal standards and enough personal courage and self esteem, then walk away from that situation. If you don't
Mhm.
realize that you don't, and that you're in an abusive relationship and you're using that person, that relationship to abuse yourself, they're not doing anything wrong. They're doing what they want to do. You're still sacrificing because you think they're going to change by you going along with what they want. And they have made it clear that they're not going to go along with what you want. So you can continue abusing yourself if you want, or you could love yourself and stop. Just stop.
There you go.
That's my response.
Good advice, brother. And Fatima West says, yes, I don't like the concept of unconditional love. It misguides me. Use said scary concept. I believe in mutual respect and care. I don't practice it the way society has it defined. I can have love and care for you, but I'm not destroying myself or allowing someone else to destroy me. I like that, Fatima. I love that. Awesome. What you think about that, Naeem? Can you
I
hear me? Okay.
appreciate that.
Hmm.
That comment. Yes. And I'm going to have to sign off after this. I'm going to read what Dr. Cheryl in the back says. She said, right on with, hold on, right on with the difference between standards, boundaries, and conditions. One difference you stated was standards pertains to personal needs, boundaries embrace interpersonal relationships. Thank you, Dr. Cheryl, for that. And yes,
Okay.
any other comments?
Yeah, we got Dreddy Gal, and she says, just would like to add that conditions, standards, and boundaries are not necessarily static and don't change. Want to be open to things changing and freedom always in these changes. Thanks again. Appreciate thinking more on this. Thanks for tuning in, Dreddy. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. And then William Dixon
Yes.
says, thanks, my brothers. No doubt, Will. We here for you, brother. You need something, you know that. So again, man, I
Thank you
know
for
you
that.
gotta get on out of here. So any last words before we get out of here?
On that last comment about them changing, they do change. And just think about it. Your standard for living, right? As a teenager, as a maybe college student, as a adult, as a parent, as a couple, right? Could have been changing, right? You're saying like, I can't live with 5 roommates anymore. I'm 50 years old, right? You know what I mean? So it could be your standards and your boundaries do change, and keep a lookout for it because you're changing. You're always changing. That's to everyone, to myself, and everyone. So thank you for that. That was a lovely way to end the conversation. And with that
Well,
said, everybody have a blessed day. I'm
that's right.
out.
We'll see you next week, the regular time on Wednesday, 7 p.m. right here on Feel Good Talk Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. So we'll see you next week. Have a great day. Be safe out there. Peace.
Peace.
Here we go. Hold on. I'm trying to get off of here. Oh my God. Hold on. You know, you try to get off.
Peace.
You try to hit the piece. You try to hit the button. Yeah, here we
Peace.
go. Thank you. Peace.